Today we're learning La La Lat from Pentatonix. Hey guys, welcome to Spit to the Rhythm. Excuse me today, I'm getting that swelling that happens when you accidentally bite your cheeks a little bit, like when your teeth grind. Anyway, so I'm gonna try and do this without injuring myself. But yeah, I got some pretty cool stuff for you guys. So today, we're learning La La Latch. So I've got some breakdowns for you guys on the beats that he does, and hopefully it will help you out. So without further ado, let's get on to it.
Lift my heart up when the rest of me is down.
Okay, so he starts out with dum-dum-dums, and then he'll add the hi-hats in later.
You enchant me even when you're not around. If there are boundaries, I will try to knock them down.
While doing this, it helps to have your lip making the hi-hat sound so that even when you're doing dum, it has that F, like a hi-hat kind of sound.
I'm latching on, babe. Now I know what I have found. Don't speak when you spit your venom. Keep it shut. I hate it when you.
Okay, so one thing to note, this is, sorry to say, it's fake. There's a few layers going on, but that's just how songs work sometimes. So let me break down the actual beat, and I took it from a lot of live performances that he's done, just listening from that and learning from that. So there's one tip. If you want to learn how he does a part, go ahead and try and search for live versions, and that should help out a lot. Yeah. So this one kind of has two parts, and it's a bit weird because it comes in the middle of the second part, and I'll explain that. So the first part goes, okay, so first thing to note is that it's a guttural bass, right? So it's like you're building up, it's like you're holding the air with your vocal cords and then suddenly letting it go, so you get a ooh, ooh, ooh. And then it usually works out better to have an ooh vowel just so it's more bassy. So you have ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. So there's the guttural bass. I'll denote that as an O. Then the rest. Okay. So there's this pattern between like in and out. Okay, which makes it kind of cool as you hear the entire thing. Okay, and then the second part is. Okay, so goes like that. So. Okay, so something like that. So that's the first part.
Don't speak when you spit your venom. Keep it shut. I hate it.
I'm always gonna break these down into the main beat and then the fill. So what the fill is between phrases. Of course, to mix up the beat a little bit and to transition to other parts of the song, you have a drum fill, and so. These are kind of variations on the same beat with the same groove that make it a bit more interesting. So the fill for this part is, let's see if we can hear it.
By your new messiah, 'cause your theories catch fire. I can't find your silver lining.
Okay, so it's pretty cool. A very simple way to transition to another part of the song is to go low or to go high. I know I did that backwards, but either go low or go high. So he's taking it here and going, okay, it's kind of like a mini bass drop kind of feel, right? Denotes that you're going somewhere else. So, and then he adds the real bass in. So let's hear that real quick.
By your new messiah, 'cause your theories catch fire. I can't find your silver lining. I don't mean to judge, but...
Okay, so this part's cool. Let me do that slowly. So, okay, let's move on.
When you read your speech is tiring, enough is enough. Covering my ears like a kid.
Okay, so this one kind of goes high, right? We talked about going low. This fill goes high to build to the chorus. So, okay, so it's going from low to high. Okay, so that's what makes it build, and it works really well. Okay, so this one, actually a lot of these beats are very similar. But anyway, let's go over it. So it's... Actually, is this the one that I did in the verse? Okay, yeah, so this is the same as the verse, except it's just louder, I think. Okay, yeah, that's it. Let's move on to the fill. He goes on to the interlude.
I'm turning up the volume when you speak. If my heart can't stop it, I'll find a way to block it. I go la 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 la.
Okay, again, he's going high, right? Okay, and this one's also nice because the sounds start slower and then get faster. So, right? So it adds that kind of anticipation, kind of feel. So going on to the next part, which is the interlude.
I'll find a way to block it. I go la 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 la.
Okay, so he went back to the guttural bass. So, okay, so it's basically the same thing, just with instead of. Okay, okay, so he did that small interlude by going. It's always a nice little way to do something non-human, right? You do that just with like a Z, like a bee buzzing. You go from an E to an E to an U. Okay, then we go to the second verse. Second verse is super cool, actually. Let's just listen to it first.
I'm so encaptured, got me wrapped up in your touch. Feel so enamored, hold me tight within your clutch.
I love, I love when he adds the little voice scratch stuff, and it works very well underneath. Anyway, so let's break it down like this. To learn it, it's basically this beat, which is a lot simpler. And then from there, we'll kind of break it down and see what else he adds there, okay? So the basic beat is... Okay, like that. And then he adds this vocal scratch thing. So vocal scratch, this is kind of a nice song to introduce it because it's not too crazy. Vocal scratch is when, you know, the DJ scratches the disc and it's like kind of sound. Okay, so he adds that kind of sound, but it's very subtle and it adds a nice vibe to it. Okay, so he adds some syncopated, so it's okay. So with vocal scratch, you want to make sure that it's as inhuman as you can make it. Well, not as inhuman as you can make it, but it's a little weird, right? It doesn't sound like someone just saying, oh, right? You can do that by emphasizing more of an R, more like an It's kind of a weird R sound. I like to have my mouth more hollow inside, but then almost close the O, like a ooh. Okay, and then it also helps if you can do like Jar Jar Binks, like this voice, right? Mr. Jar Jar Binks kind of thing, right? Or Stitch. Do they have the same voice? Anyway, that kind of voice, right? You do that, but try experimenting how much you put in it, right? So you can have it a lot, which is like, which is some people's style. You can do it a little less, right? So it's okay, and then somewhere in between is where I like to be. So yeah. Anyway, so when you do the kind of thing, keep in mind that's where the sound comes from, and then see what mixes better, right? So okay, and then at the very end of that phrase, you add a whoop, whoop, whoop. Again, for that sound, I think it's just whoop. It's just him saying whoop. But if you have the mouth more closed than usual, not totally closed, but a little closed, it makes it a little more inhuman. Again, with that word, right? So instead of ooh, it's ooh, ooh. So yeah, put it together and it's okay, and then yeah, so that last part was a little different because, let me play that for you. The background singers are doing, Kirsten and Mitch are doing triplets, right? So I'm pretty sure he just doesn't do anything there, but if you want to accent those notes with them, you can also do triplets. So that's kind of what I like to do.
Hold me tight within your clutch. How do you do it? You got me losing every breath. What did you give me to make my heart beat out my chest?
Okay, so these next parts, of course you build, right? But he just builds by adding hi-hats, but doing the same beat. So it looks like this. So okay, and then he keeps going, and then the second portion has a longer hi-hat, I think, and it takes out, let's look at this. Yeah, it kind of takes out the at that point and make sure it just has the yeah, so that beat kind of takes over the other one. It's like layered on top. Let me show you.
What did you give me to make my heart beat out my chest?
Okay, that's some more layering stuff, right? There's someone in the background, well, it's probably him, but layered, right? It's going right all the way up, which adds, a nice feel for the recording. But sadly, you can't do that all by yourself. Yeah, maybe you can even kind of go up with each of the. That might be a good middle ground, right? I'm not sure exactly what he does because recordings live are never that good. But yeah, I love that. Okay, using that kind of laser sound, right, is did I just do this? Anyway, it's just the Z, it's like a buzz, right? Bzzz, and then you go from your head voice or higher voice, bzzz, and then come down and then back up. Bzzz, okay, and then it helps if you're doing some scratch to it. So kind of close your mouth. Bzzz, okay, so I like to open, and as you go down, it closes. Okay, but not all the way closed. Again, same thing, almost closed, not all the way closed. Okay, and then end with that snare, adds a very nice effect. Okay. Okay, so this part's interesting. It's very subtle what he's doing. He's adding like it's like a vocal kind of sound, So yeah, let me play it again and kind of listen for that. He has like, yeah, he has this kind of sound.
That's why I got you in my space. I won't let go of you.
He goes, okay, and then yeah, that'll take us to the breakdown.
Got you shackled in my embrace. I'm latching onto you. Never let go, I won't let go. I feel it closing.
Okay, so that first part, he does it differently live, which I'm not surprised because this part they actually go into 3. So instead of 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 ish 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay, so yeah, the notation will change like this, but basically he's doing that breathy sound on the 3rd triplet. I can count. Yes, the 3rd triplet. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3.
I can't find your silver lining. I don't mean to judge.
So yes, that's what's happening. There's that guttural bass, and then it's either inward or outward. Actually, I think it's outward. So, and then when he needs to breathe and when he wants to accent it a little bit, he breathes in. So mostly outward, and then I think inward for an accent. So. Kind of thing. Okay, and then it builds, so let's listen to that. Okay, so there's some more layering. Of course, when he does it on the recording, there's like this, which makes it nice, but you can't do that when it's live. So what he's doing there is it's a guttural. Some beatboxers, some tutorials will call it the Congo drum, I think. Conga drum? Bongo drum. I don't remember what it's called. I think bongo drum. Anyway, it's the guttural, but you start it with a G. And if you get it where the G is almost pulling air instead of like G pushing air, yeah, you can get almost a clicky sound, and by changing the shape of your mouth, you can get some different sounds. So yeah, he adds that at the beginning. I'll notate it with a G. Yeah, so he starts those at the beginning of the phrase, and then he starts putting them more and more. So here's kind of how it goes.
I can't find your silver lining. I don't mean to judge.
It's so hard. It's so weird. I wouldn't do this live, but yeah, it's crazy. So. Okay, and then it goes more and more often. It builds to the end, which is here. Yeah, super cool. So the bass, is still constant. It's constant throughout this whole thing, right? So it's okay, and then his S's are going. Okay, that's kind of hard to notate, but yeah, it's a bit challenging because to do the different is kind of already a guttural thing, but you just accent the downbeat. So see, I'm not doing it very well, but okay, you got to really think about it. But yeah, there it is, and then it goes to the end.
Covering my ears like a kid.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so it's this covering my ears like a kid, right, is this like this kind of moment, arrival, right? And then to get back into the groove, right, he waits 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yeah, it's very cool syncopation. So there it is. It's a. Okay, so it's important on this one to make sure that your snare is in the right spot. There's a lot. It's kind of all happening at once. So if that one's late, that would be the worst, right? You need that right on. So, okay, right on that and. Yes, and now we're getting to the end. Let's do this.
I'm telling you when you speak. If my heart can't stop it, I'll find a way to block it. I go.
So this part, yeah, is the same as before. So, yeah, it's that beat, and then it finishes.
If my heart can't stop it, I'll find a way to block it. I go la 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 la.
Okay, and then at the end, yeah, we've seen that before, I think. Yeah, so he's just finishing with that, and then this end one is crazy actually, but I've broken it down for you. So here we are. This one using awesome use of breaths and like kind of ambient sounds to make the end very mysterious, very, very cool. Anyway, so to learn this easier, just kind of practice the phrase. Okay, so is used all over the place here. If you learn that, it's kind of easier to piece together things. Okay, so here's the beat. So okay, so there's another phrase that okay, so okay, so let's go over that again. I put T's in this notation, but they're kind of like CHs or SHs even. And they go different directions, right? Some of them are and some of them are. So you just gotta listen for that. But this notation hopefully will help you with the beat itself, and I think that's most important. And then you can add in the other things later. So it's okay, and then the fill section goes. Okay, so this last part, the fill, yeah, just really getting that groove of the hi-hat before the snare. You can practice just that if you want. 2, 3, 4. Right, you can get that over and over. So adds a very nice effect. Anyway, put that all together, and you get. Okay, and then it repeats. Nice ending. So the ending is just right, and then he's adding at the end. I think you can do it with whatever vowel you want, whichever one you think sounds better. A lot of times I go with an ah. I think he goes with eh. Maybe because Mitch ends with never. It's kind of an eh vowel, right? Yeah, there we go. So yeah, he ends with that. Okay, so there we go. That's it. Yeah, this is my first Pentatonix tutorial, but yeah, I hope that I organize things in a way that helps you out. If it did, then give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and let me know if you think there are ways that I can improve, things that I can mention while I'm doing these tutorials. Also let me know, and yeah, definitely I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback. Also, let me know which song you want me to do next. So La La Latch is one of my favorites, but I want to hear what you guys want to do, and I'll see what I can do. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys, and we will see you on the next one. Keep spitting.